Hi everybody, thank you so much for tuning into my channel and watching my videos. I appreciate you guys. So today I'm filming from Cape Town. It's a beautiful sunny day today. Today I want to talk about the signs that you are burned out at work. This is a very personal topic for me. Several years ago, I was studying mechanical engineering. I obviously wanted to be in the engineering sector and climb up the ladder, and I got most of my experience is as a process engineer. So I started working as a process engineer and I enjoyed my work so much. It's what I wanted to do, it's what I studied for. I had no other option but basically the job that I was doing. Basically what I was doing was what I studied for, and I was excited, I was excited to be in the space. I could see the impact that I'm doing. I went overseas, I worked there for a few months. I was really at the peak of my career. And when I came back to South Africa, my energy level just started dropping. I was not as productive. I was missing work a lot. I was sick all the time. And literally, I was burned out. But I didn't actually know it at the time. And so today I thought I would share with you some signs that you are burned out at work and what you can do about it. It's very important that you don't let it go on for long, because you can actually get workplace depression from this. So left untreated, burnout is actually a serious thing. And as you guys know, none of my videos are any medical diagnosis. If you need help, go to a professional, and so forth. This is just basically my personal experience with being in the workplace and experiencing mental health issues, particularly burnout, which escalated into workplace depression, which at the end actually caused me to decide to do a career change and leave the job that I had loved years and years before. So let us get started. I have my little iPad here, so if you see me just looking at it, it's because I want to make sure you guys are getting the right context and I'm not just mumbling, but I've actually prepared a lot of info that I want to share with you guys. All right, the first sign of workplace burnout. So first sign that you are burning out in the workplace: absenteeism. All right, absenteeism happens when you are burned out because, one, you are tired, two, you lack motivation, and three, you can actually have health issues because of a burnout. All right, I'm gonna get into that later on, but basically you are missing work a lot, or you initially you might be going to work, but you don't feel like getting up in the morning and actually getting to work. So absenteeism is one of the signs that you can look out for. Are you going to work as consistently as you used to go? Are you actually looking forward, waking up in the morning to pitch up to that workplace? Or do you feel like, oh my word, it's such a drag, I do not want to get out of bed and make it to the workplace? That is one of the most important signs to look out for. Now, the second one is loss of purpose. This was a big one for me. I woke up in the morning asking myself, what exactly is my purpose? I didn't feel like I was contributing in the workplace. I didn't feel like this is where I should be. Have you ever felt like you are like a spectator of your life? Or have you ever felt out of place? Have you ever felt like I don't belong? This is what I kind of felt in the workplace. I felt like surely there's more to life, there's more that I want to do with my life, and waking up and doing something that didn't fulfill my purpose was actually a big turning point for me. I'm a big believer in purpose-driven work. So I think this is important for companies and for you as an individual, and to shape up your career, to know what is the work that you want to do, what are the problems that you want to solve, what is it that you want to wake up in the morning and do. And for me, I woke up in the morning to go to a job that I actually didn't like anymore, and it was such a hard thing for me because, like I said earlier, it is the job that I've always wanted to do. It's not like it was a fallback career, or it was one of those things my parents chose for me. No, I chose this career for myself, and for me to at the end realize that this is not my purpose required a lot of work, a lot of me introspecting and understanding myself better, and accepting that as I grow up, I evolve, and I hadn't just thrown my life away, that actually this is my path, and finding my purpose was so important. So if you are waking up in the morning and you feel that, listen, I'm going to this job, it's a well-paying job, or sometimes it's not, it depends on your situation, but I do not have a sense of purpose, I don't feel like this is my God-given gift, or I don't feel like this is where I should be, that is the second sign that you are probably experiencing a burnout, or it's crippling into your life, and you should check yourself out. The third one is a negative attitude. You know, there are those people in the workplace that complain and complain, and we know them for complaining. And I was never one to complain, you know. And to know that this was crippling in, I was one of the complainers now. I had such a negative attitude about my environment, about the work, about the culture, just about being there. And this is such a toxic thing in the workplace. Most times we talk about toxic environment, but toxic environment is actually created by people. Of course, we don't want to call ourselves toxic people, but what we do is we create a culture of complaining, a culture of just negative thought and negative attitude. And when that happens to you, I think one has to introspect. If I'm complaining so much, do I really want to be here? If I don't like the environment that I'm in, what is it that I can do? If there's nothing that I can do, then do I really want to pitch up to this new environment and to these people and to this kind of management? So your attitude and negative attitude is one of the signs that you've actually had enough. The fourth one, I experienced this myself. I've actually literally experienced all the signs that I'm talking to you guys about today. The fourth one is fatigue. Fatigue is it should have been on the first. This is actually one of the number one things. So fatigue and absenteeism is actually linked together. Obviously, if you're tired, chances are you're not gonna pitch up. You are tired. And I'm not talking about fatigue is not just being, oh, I'm so tired, and you get some rest that day and you wake up in the morning the next day and you're ready to go. Fatigue cripples your life. It comes into your life and you feel you are always tired. You feel you always don't have the energy to do the things that you actually used to enjoy. The fifth sign that you are burnt out is difficulty concentrating or being productive at work. I saw this with myself in the sense that if I was working on my laptop, I could feel that I needed more breaks in between. My concentration level had slightly decreased, or had decreased initially when I was burnt out. And I just couldn't perform tasks as fast as I did before. And I was just going around in circles, and sometimes I would knock off and I would feel like, what happened? What did I actually achieve today? I'm a very proactive, purpose-orientated person. So for me to just come into work and leave work and not have any tangible results was very difficult for me. And that's how I could spot that, no, listen, my concentration level had decreased, my productivity had decreased. And if you are in an environment where performance is not really looked into with, you know, a magnifying glass, and as long as you know you produce some sort of work, it might actually take some time for you to notice this, because your boss is not really complaining. You know, they're getting the reports and they're getting whatever they're asking for, but you know there's nobody that knows you better than yourself. You know that you can actually produce better results. You know that you can actually be more productive, efficient. And when you spot that, you will realize that probably you are burnt out. The sixth sign that you are burned out is lack of motivation or lack of commitment to your role. And this can happen that, you know, when I started my job, I remember I started work at 7 o'clock and I would get to work at 6:30, pumped up. You know, I wanted to have my coffee before 7, and I would see these people coming in late, making their coffee, and I would give them such a judgmental look, like, this person just walked in and they're already making a cup of coffee and they are late, right? And that is actually small signs that you are lacking motivation. You lack motivation to come to work. You lack motivation to show up to the meetings. You lack motivation to be productive and efficient in your work. You just don't have the motivation to be at the job. This is one of the signs of burnout. And I think that, you know, when we talk about productivity, because most of these signs are linked to productivity in the workplace, this is why companies need to especially invest more in mental health, illness, and wellness in the workplace. Because if your productivity is low, the company is losing money, and it's just not a good fit. So your motivation is very important. I'm one of those people that just cannot go to a job just because of money. Yes, I need the money, but what is it that I'm contributing to the workplace? And that is very important to me. I have seen that there are some people that are able to just pitch up to work at the right time, leave at the right time, and not even be productive, and they're okay with it. If you are the kind of person that is driven, that is usually motivated, that is goal orientated, self-sufficient, then motivation is a big factor for you, and it's one of the things you should look out for if it has decreased. The seventh sign that you are burnt out is such an important sign, because it has to do a lot with you. You are not taking care of yourself. So burnout usually happens most of the time, if not all of the time, if you are overworked in the job, or secondly, if you have just lost interest in the career or in the job and it's such a drag to get there, right? Usually when you are overworked, you are too tired, you are fatigued, you do not necessarily know how to take care of yourself in terms of eating healthy, in terms of working out, in terms of meditating, taking some time off. And this, I mean, you shouldn't blame yourself for this, because you are overworked. You are not at your best. You don't like spending your whole day at a certain work, right? So if you are so overworked, what are the chances that you're gonna come back home, cook yourself a healthy, nice meal, and, you know, meditate and just take some time off? The chances are very slim, because you're already overworked. You don't have time to yourself. You're not taking care of yourself. You're not, like I say, eating healthy. And what normally happens is that during the weekend, the people that are burnt out, that have workplace burnout and workplace depression, is that it is so important to them that during the weekend they would actually use substances like alcohol, you know, sometimes even drugs, weed, to actually escape the world that they're in. It's because they know they only have, Saturday and Sunday to themselves. And we all know about Sunday. You're already thinking about work and you just can't take it. So people tend to use alcohol. And that is why during the weekend we see a lot of people over drinking, overcompensating for the pain that they're going through in their lives and the pressure of work and not being able to cope with the demands of life. And so you see people using substance abuse, you see people overeating, or sometimes even undereating, depending on the personality. The eighth sign that you are experiencing workplace burnout is health issues. Like I said, with me, health issues was really the turning point of my career and my decision to actually take a break from working and sort myself out. Being sick is an indicator of burnout. It could be digestive system issues, it could be sleep issues. You are struggling to sleep or you're struggling to wake up. It could be your immune system just feels weak. You get coughs and colds easily. You just easily get sick. If there's a new virus in town, you probably the first person to catch it, right? Your immune system is weak. It doesn't matter what supplements you take. You just feel sick, fatigued, and tired, right? And health issues usually when the burnout reaches the health issues, it's been going on for a prolonged period of time. I personally think that I was burnt out for about 2 years, and that went on and on and on, and I tried to hold on to what was my dream job, to what I always wanted to do with my life. And my health issues got so bad that it forced me to really take care of myself. Health issues are a great indicator that you need to slow down, you need to introspect, and you need to check if you are maybe not burned out in your workplace and what you can do about it, right? The ninth thing that you are burnt out is being emotional in the workplace, right? I am by no means being insensitive to people that are emotional in the workplace. So if generally you are an emotional person, you tend to cry now and then in the workplace or in the bathroom, it's fine. But if you are like me, I am a strong woman. I struggle with vulnerability. I cannot just easily cry or break down. And I found that when I was in the workplace sometimes and I was experiencing this burnout in the workplace, that I would be so emotional, right? If, for example, someone said something that I didn't like, I obviously wouldn't burst out crying in front of them, but I would go to the bathroom and I would just feel like, I am emotional. I just, didn't like how that happened. You usually feel like a failure anyway when you're experiencing all these signs and the burnout, because the truth is, you know who you are, who you can be, who you've been, and these are the signs that are opposite to the person that you are. So obviously you already feel like something is wrong with you. I'm not at my peak. You don't like being here. You are already overwhelmed with life and overwhelmed with work, and so it is quite easy for you to be emotional. If it is that time of the month, it could even be an extra sensitive time for you because of the hormones and everything else, right? So being emotional is another indicator that you are probably experiencing burnout in the workplace. The 10th one, which is the last one, is self-doubt, right? Self-doubt comes in, like I said, because you know who you can be, who you've been in the place that you work at, right? Your bosses probably know you are such a high achiever. Mind you, me saying that about high achievers, burnout normally happens to people that are high achieving. They work hard, and this is particularly why I think they get the burnout, is because they sometimes exert so much energy into the activities or the project that they are working on that they struggle to balance life and work. And at the end of the day, it's as if the work takes over the life balance. And an interesting study actually says many millennials, women, are burned out before the age of 30. And I left my job when I was 29. And this study is actually a very good indicator of what happens. So if you are before 30 and you are experiencing burnout, you are probably one of those high functioning people in the workplace, high achieving people, driven, and I'm actually not surprised that it's women. Not that the burnout doesn't happen with men, but the study talks about the women that are burned out before their 30th birthday in the workplace. And it's because this is a stage or time or age in your life where you want to prove yourself, where you are almost at the, I would say, people think they're actually at the peak of their career, and where they, especially with women, we tend to, not by choice, because of so many socioeconomic problems in not in our country but all around the world, that women need to, of course, prove themselves, do things 2 times more than the average men to be recognized, to be established in the workplace. And if you're a black woman, then yeah, you know, you've got your work cut out for you. So you know, these are the stats, and it's so true. We work so hard as women to establish ourselves in the workplace, that it can unfortunately cause some burnout if it's not taken care of. So self-doubt is, because you're experiencing all these symptoms or all these signs, then you feel like, you know, you are absent at work, like we said, you're fatigued, you probably have a negative attitude, you have difficulty concentrating and being productive, you lack motivation, you're not taking care of yourself. So you can imagine how all of this can come together and just cause self-doubt in your life, making you think that, whoa, I had so much self-doubt. And you know, it's not easy admitting that I had self-doubt, because firstly, I had always wanted to work in this field and do what I was doing, and so I had self-doubt to say, can you really trust yourself enough to know what to do next with your life? I had that self-doubt. Secondly, I had self-doubt because I was not as proactive, productive as I was before. I was not producing results like I was before, so I had the self-doubt. You know, I felt like my life was completely upside down because I wasn't in control of my work. I wasn't in control of myself. I wasn't in control of anything. And when you are the person that likes to control things, this can be especially difficult for you, right? So we have to remember that burnout is actually not a medical diagnosis, but like I said, burnout can lead to depression. So my suggestion is, if you have the signs of the burnout, you know, evaluate your life. Sometimes just getting that help from a psychologist or from a counselor. Sometimes they have this in the workplace, that you can just get a counselor to kind of assess where you are in the phase of burnout leading to the depression, right? Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope it helps you. What I want to say as my final words regarding this is that we are enough, right? And I always emphasize this in my videos, because I think enough is enough when you realize that you are worthy, right? You are worthy of more than what you are getting, of more than what you are giving. And so when you understand your worth, it is very difficult for you to be in an environment that does not deliver. It is very difficult for you to be in a relationship that does not deliver. It is very difficult for you to be a person in your own body and you know you are not delivering, you know you are not living up to your potential. So knowing you are enough and knowing it is not too late, and always know that you are responsible for your life. You are responsible for the career change. You are responsible for your health. You are responsible for healing, for health, and for wealth. Thank you so much for watching my video. I will see you next time.